One hot Philadelphia summer some 200 years ago, a bunch of guys in powdered wigs forged the great experiment, known as America. And with the 4th of July just a week away, my brother Pete was conducting a great experiment of his own. He would answer the question that had haunted mankind for centuries. What happens when a humidifier and dehumidifier are turned on at the same time? But great experiments don't always have great outcomes. True, the Founding Fathers gained their freedom, but Pete Wrigley was about to lose his.
Hey, Smiley Strange, you looking happily deranged. Can you settle this in bed? Or have you picked your target yet? Listen, dear. Does your dog bite? Listen, dear. Listen, dear. Does your dog bite? Listen, dear. Listen, dear. Does your dog bite? Listen, dear.
Look at this scorch mark. My sweet Kentucky blue. You killed it.
Dad didn't care about the scientific impact of Pete's experiment. All he thought about was the bet he made with our dogweed neighbor, Mr. Lerkner. The bet? Whoever has the best lawn by July 4th gets to watch the loser mow both lawns all summer.
Peekaboo, Downy boy.
It was a contest they both took pretty seriously. For 5 consecutive summers, Dad had lost to Mr. Lerkner, and Pete's lawn flambe was sure to make it 6.
Who cares about your stupid grass?
Who cares? Well, I'll tell you who cares. Come tomorrow morning, you care. Oh, boy, will you care. Come on!
And come 6 a.m. the next morning, Dad made good on his threat. First, he made Pete replant the Kentucky bluegrass he destroyed,
Do you care yet?
No!
1 seed at a time. Next, Dad made Pete replace the ruined irrigation system by turning him into a human sprinkler.
Do you care yet?
No!
Then, Dad made Pete give the scorch mark a deep Swedish massage.
Do you care yet?
No!
But what he finally learned was that all Pete really cared about was one thing: freedom. Dad tried to track Pete from police reports picked up on the metal plate in Mom's head that she got from an accident when she was a kid.
Come on, honey, give me some signal.
Suspect headed north on Highway 4 driving a Crepboy 2000 Mulchmaster.
Highway 4 is going to the border.
Pete made it as far as the Manitoba Peninsula, where he tried to outwit Canada's finest with the old traveling salesman routine.
Name and occupation.
My name's Dirk Wayne, and hand lotion is my game. Guess you guys get kind of chapped up here, huh?
Inside, mister. And Pete, grab a shovel. Mr. Horsey left us a present for the scorch mark.
As Pete took his last look at freedom, he got his first look at our new neighbor, Nona F. Mecklenburg.
You're grounded.
Parameters.
House,
Privileges.
food, and bathroom.
Duration.
Dad had taken the pause every kid dreads. Would he show mercy, or would he be a parent?
1 month.
Parent.
1 month? Might as well ground me for life. I'll miss the 4th of July, the fireworks.
He'll miss the fireworks.
He'll miss the fireworks.
With Pete under house arrest for the best part of the summer, Mom and I were enlisted to serve in the Great Lawn War of Wellsville.
Lawn hydration is the key to victory. Too much water can wipe out all that we've worked for.
Thanks for the tip, Donny boy. No dogs on Lugner grass.
What are you, some kind of serial killer?
I'm just protecting my turf. Doggy Wee Wee kills grass faster than acid.
Not for my dog. Ever since moving to your lousy town, he won't squirt. I don't blame him. I hate this place, too. You want to know something about dogs? Their brain is about 1/3 of the size of ours, but they're over 100% nicer.
You have soft hands for a man, Don.
As the sentence dragged on, Artie did his superhero best to keep Pete's spirits up in the big house.
Artie,
Yes,
tell me about the asphalt again.
you don't want it, boy.
Please?
When it rains, it smells like summer.
No!
Boy, boy! A delightful new product. I thought you would, dig it.
Pete had no idea what Artie was getting at. He was just glad to have the company.
Hey, Gus. Calling it quits for today? Give my best to the missus.
At least the ants could understand what life was like in the slammer. Then, when he saw them hard at work, he suddenly knew what Artie had in mind. It was the idea of the century. He figured if ants could do it, why couldn't a kid? Pete was gonna tunnel his way to freedom. Starting point, the basement. Destination, the new neighbor's yard. Breakout date, the 4th of July.
Live free or die.
Our forefathers started a whole revolution with a single document. My brother Pete started his revolution with a 24-gauge paperweight and a pile of concrete. With Lady Liberty leading the way, Pete began his tunnel to freedom. The stakes were never higher. If he got caught this time, he probably would be grounded for life.
Reg. I gotta fix the spigot. Did you, hear something?
Parasites.
Parasites?
Parasites?
While the Great Lawn War intensified above ground, below ground, Pete's great escape went into overdrive. He figured out every angle. For lighting, he used Dad's Christmas Deluxe pack. For oxygen, he used the sprinkler pipes. And for the hard layers of rhyolite lava, there was plenty of dynamite. Really big parasites. Then there was the dirt. With Pete digging nearly 4 feet a day, the big problem became where to hide it. At first, it really wasn't that hard. But the more dirt I had to hide, the more creative I became. Eventually, helping Pete helped me discover my artistic side. Meanwhile, Nona got so homesick, she began to plaster her new house with pictures of her old one. That didn't stop the loneliness, but her dog Nimbus was about to find someone who could.
After we get out of here, Petunia, I'll treat you to a nice, juicy steak.
Okay, make my medium rare with grilled onions.
Who said that?
Up here. My name's Nona F. Mecklenburg. F's for Francis. I'll get to legally change it, either to flame or forklift.
I'm Pete. My dad grounded me for a month. I'm tunneling out.
I wish I could get out of here. I hate this place. So does Nimbus.
Hey, there's a kid out there talking to my lawn.
Which kid, honey?
Well, you know, the kid who has a dog that can't pee.
Oh, that kid. Well, maybe she's just a little lonely, dear.
Well, of all the trees and lampposts on the street, why does she have to talk to my lawn?
I'm busting out on the 4th. With everyone at the fireworks, I can make a clean break.
Can I go too?
Sure,
Where are you going to go?
anywhere but Canada.
How about Missouri? It's the show me state.
Show me what? What do you think you're doing?
Talking to your grass that helps it grow, you know. It's a botanic fact.
Scram. Makes it grow. Jeez. I love the way the moonbeams shimmer off your midnight dew. Your soft, fragrant tendrils caress the backs of my feet, and your verdant lushness tickles my cheek and takes my breath away.
What a Nimrod!
As Pete kept working below ground, he didn't know that above ground his tunnel was killing Dad's grass, and with it, his one shot at freedom. As Pete made his great escape, little did he know that his secret tunnel wasn't so secret anymore. The only person who could save him was the loneliest girl in Wellsville.
I think I'll say good morning to the lawn.
She had no problem matching the color. She just hoped the paint would dry in time.
A botanic fact.
With the 4th of July only 2 days away, Pete was 10 feet from freedom and working round the clock.
Awesome.
As a matter of fact, so was Dad. Especially since talking to the grass really did help it grow.
I remember when you were this big, you gorgeous, nutty lawn. Keep up the good work. We're gonna make it.
You bet I am.
You see that? You better start growing. I mean now. I created you, and I can destroy you.
But Scuzzmaster Lurgner decided long ago that he would never be beaten. He was gonna win no matter what it took.
All's fair in love and lawn care, Donny boy.
Pete, are you okay? Pete?
Pete wasn't okay.
It's over. It's ruined.
Lergner's sabotage had flooded his tunnel. To Dad, the 4th of July wasn't just our nation's birthday. It was a celebration of freedom. It was the root of democracy. It was the day he would lose to Lergner. And the day Pete would lose his tunnel.
Sectors E through J are history.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, don't die on me. Fight! You're Kentucky Blue. Fight! My fault. I should have fixed the spigot. My fault.
In the end, not even CPR could save Kentucky Blue.
The grass is always greener on the Lergner side. Hey, Don?
As for Pete, his quest for freedom was dead on arrival.
Come on, Wrigley's. We're going to enjoy these fireworks no matter what.
Honey, we can't leave Pete now.
Don't worry. With that security system, he so much as touches a window, every cop in the state will be all over him.
I mean the grounding. Hasn't it gone far enough?
Come on, Dad. Pete loves the fireworks. And besides, you already lost to Lergner. What's the point?
Well, the point is respect. Respect for my inalienable right as an American to a perfect lawn. And Pete still has to learn his lesson. Now let's move out. Come on.
Pete! Pete! This is our chance. Come on.
Why do you even bother? You'll never get out of that snake pit. Give it up.
Pete! Give me your pour. You're tired. You're rounded masses, struggling to be free through hard-patched clay.
When Pete heard the impassioned words of Lady Liberty, he thought of the countless millions before him who struggled against oppression, risking everything they had so they might one day be able to utter the one word that meant more than life itself: freedom. While Nona's speech helped Pete find his second wind,
Oh, Pete, set your mom's chair up over there.
over at Throneberry Park, where the fireworks are held every year in Wellsville, Dad was starting to have second thoughts. Everything he saw reminded him of Pete.
Pete.
Come on, boys. You're free. Think for all you're worth.
Pete would have loved this.
Dad decided then and there he was gonna set Pete free, but Pete beat him to it.
Hold on, Pete. Hold on, boy.
I'm free. You hear? Free.
Oh, don't you worry. Daddy's on his way.
I thought you'd be shorter.
I am. Hey, Nimbus.
Pete, we gotta go.
Wait. I've got to do something first. Something for my dad. Nimbus, it's time to mark your territory. Let's go. Come on now.
Pete brought Nimbus and his bloated bladder to Lardner's yard for the oldest form of justice. An eye for an eye and a flood for a flood.
Let's go, Nimbus. I know you want to.
There's no way my little boy's gonna miss the fireworks.
Wait, why didn't I think of this before? A picture of the carpet from our old house. His favorite pea spot. Here. Look, Nimbus.
Go, Nimbus, go! Look at him go!
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, Nimbus, all right, yeah!
I'm a Yankee Doodle Daddy, Yankee Doodle Doer. Yay!
Run, Davy, go!
Not without you.
Guess I'm grounded until Halloween.
Try Christmas. Now take one last look, because the next time you see the outside, you're going to be old enough to drive.
And suddenly, there it was, the most magical moment of the summer.
Oh, I can't deny you your freedom. It goes against everything America stands for.
You're right, Dad. Your lawn's important to you. I'm sorry I screwed it up.
Oh, that's all I wanted to hear.
I mean, most other fathers have stuff that they're good at, like business or sports. All you have is a pile of grass.
Thanks, son. That's all I wanted to hear.
Maybe Dad and Pete weren't able to watch the fireworks up close, but they were watching them together. And somehow, after all they'd been through, the fireworks meant more than they ever had before. So the great lawn war of Wellsville finally ended in a tie, after both sides were caught cheating. It wasn't exactly peace, but at least there'd be no formal hostilities until next summer. Nona decided to give Wellsville another chance, since she found a new friend. And as for Pete, Dad reduced his sentence to cutting both lawns for the rest of the summer. It was a pain, but in the end, it seemed like a small price to pay for freedom.
Waiting for October. I'm in the book and I'll be learning how to fly. He's coming down, but he's not alone. He's gonna bring an army of saints, and he's taking all his bags home, and then destroying what remains. Waiting for October. I cross my fingers 'cause my heart would hope to die. Waiting for October. I'm in the book and I'll be learning to be with, to be with. Hoping that the end will start again. And that's when human history will die. I said.
The seasons of the year, they come and go. Continents drift, ice caps melt, entire species disappear. Everything is always changing on this planet. Everything but the game I love. Baseball. Unfortunately, my love of the game had never translated into a winning record. But all that was about to change. This year I was playing for a new manager, Mr. Ed Behrens. To him, losing was unknown. Imperfection? Unacceptable. Just win. The only words he lived by.
Double-0, that's a two-base error. Get in here and wash my car.
He wasn't an easy manager to play for, but I didn't care. After years of being on losing teams, I was beginning to feel like a loser myself. But with Coach Narins to guide me, I knew I could turn it around. I knew I could be a winner.
Number 5, that is an error.
It's mighty strange. You looking happily deranged. I can't be settled in bed. Or have you picked your target yet? Listen, dear. Don't your dog bite? Listen, dear.
They say the world is divided into two kinds of people, winners and losers. But how do you know what you are? How do you know if you're destined to go through life with this branded on your forehead, or if you're destined for greater things? I found out in our very first game, when we took on the dreaded Bacon Barn. For some reason, Mr. Narins never left his car, but it didn't affect his precision coaching. He'd analyze the variables, make the right adjustments, and we did the rest.
You're out!
Winning felt better than anything I could have dreamed of. It tasted better, too. The Slush Shack had a deal with the league. In exchange for their billboard, they gave away free slushies to the winners of all the games. We were in slushy paradise. And since Ellen had a summer job as apprentice to slush master Bob Oppenheimer, every game we won meant another excuse to see her.
Ellen, hi.
Hey, Pete, how's it going?
We won. Believe it or not, you're looking at a winner.
Congratulations. Just don't start acting like one, okay?
You got a deal. Hey, Slush Girl. Large line Balthazar now. Oh, pardon me, I believe I wanted a great
I was first.
Judas.
Come on.
Raspberry.
Excuse me. An orange Lazarus, if you please.
Mr. Narins, I have made it very clear in the past that the Orange Lazarus is not included in the free slush agreement. I'm very sorry.
Slush money.
An orange Lazarus? How come it's not on the menu?
It shouldn't even be on this earth. Long ago, I created the Orange Lazarus, looking for beauty and perfection, and what did I get? A hedonistic nectar of greed and power.
It looks good.
It is evil. It's too tempting. It's too delicious. It's too cold. You think you drink it? No. It drinks you.
A drink from the chalice of victory, brave warriors. Orange Lazarus for everyone!
What about the brain freeze?
If consumed too quickly, the super cold Lazarus could shut down your central nervous system in 1.2 seconds, resulting in a condition known as the brain freeze. Mr. Narins didn't care. In fact, the only time he seemed to be truly happy was when he was alone with his Lazarus. Some say he needed the subarctic cold of the Lazarus to replenish the ice water that flowed through his veins. I didn't care why he slurped it down. All that mattered was we kept winning and winning and winning. Then one day, our winning streak sputtered to a stop. It started when Teddy's parents made him get a precautionary flu shot, just in case he caught a chill sitting on the bench during night games. The tiny bit of the virus in the vaccine made Teddy a carrier. Before long, half the team was infected. And those that remained were no murderer's row.
To the third!
We got stomped in 5 straight games. With each defeat, I felt the loser insignia forming on my forehead.
Puny humans. I will make you proud of me, Lazarus.
Narens, however, wasn't a man to take defeat lying down. So the mighty Naren set off in search of a player who could turn our whole season around. I didn't have much hope, but by our next game, he unveiled a secret weapon unlike any baseball had ever seen. Willie Mays' offensive weapon was his fence-clearing power. Ted Williams' offensive weapon was his textbook swing. But Coach Naren's new offensive weapon was the most offensive of them all. My brother Pete was the Ty Cobb of trash talk. It was Naren's most brilliant move. As long as he kept the free Lazari flowing, Pete promised he would keep his foul mouth foaming.
Hey, better, 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 better. Hey, better, so wing better, you pus-drunk, spurting maggot batter.
When it was our turn to bat, the pitcher became Pete's meat.
We want a pitcher, not a beast-eating chum jockey!
Ball 4.
All right, Pete, you did it.
And just like that, the dreaded loser curse had been lifted. As the regular season rolled on, our team slashed and burned its way to the top of the standings. Thanks to Pete's heat-seeking, nitro-breathing, radar-guided trash talk.
You scrape the legs of dung beetles to ice your cupcakes.
When insults failed, Pete could strike fear in the heart of a player just hinting at an embarrassment from his past.
Hey, a hot lather machine, huh? Woo-hoo-hoo, ingenious!
I should have been happy. Mr. Naren sure was.
Rain freeze.
I wished I could freeze my brain too, so I could somehow numb away the painful feeling that winning the Naren's way was destroying baseball.
Hey! What's the matter?
We won.
You don't look too happy.
I don't know what's wrong with me. If Narens were here, he'd...
Orange Lazarus, miss.
Sorry, we're closed.
I'm sorry, Narens. I created the Lazarus for good, not for this.
It is good, Bob. Good and frosty. So make me one. Now.
Mr. Narens, could I talk to you? It's about the way we've been winning games. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like baseball.
Is that so? Well, thanks for the update, number 5, because up till now, I thought everything you knew about baseball, you learned from me. You weren't even clay. You were like a handful of silt. But I took that silt and I molded it into my image, the image of a winner. I made you what you are, and you turned on me. Forgive him, Lazarus.
Mr. Narens?
Just win, baby.
They were 3 words about to be carved into baseball's tombstone. It was one of those perfect summer days that baseball was invented for. Thanks to Mr. Narens and Pete, we were 1 out away from being in the championship game. All I had to do was learn to live by a simple creed, which I kept repeating like a prayer. Just win, baby. Just win, baby. I almost believed it, until the game came down to one final batter. My friend, Bill Korn.
Pete, can't you do something about your little brother?
Sorry, Bill. I just hope you don't have any secrets. The word was out that Pete had something on Bill that was so embarrassing, his family might have to move to another state and change their name.
Come on! Kill me! Do it! I can't take it anymore. All right. I ate snot once. It was at the candy counter at the movie theater. I thought it was imitation butter flavored topping. There. Are you happy?
It was all too much. Seeing Bill annihilated like that, just to get into the championships. Watching Teddy turn into a Lazarus-lapping jerk.
Prosthetics take no prisoners!
Hey, son, slow down on that.
Buzz up, Schlushenheimer.
I knew what I had to do. Pete, you gotta cut the trash talk. It's not baseball.
What do you mean?
I don't know how to explain it. But every game we played was like 100 little games. Some we won and some we lost. Calling a pitch out on a 2-0 count. Breaking up a double play. Blocking the plate. If they didn't add up to a win, then we weren't good enough. But that's baseball. Don't you get it?
I get this. If you try to stop me, I'll make sure everyone knows why Mom won't let you buy lard anymore.
The Lazarus, Oppenheimer's once noble experiment, had claimed another victim.
I've become Slushmaster, destroyer of brains.
It wasn't fair. All I'd ever dreamed of was winning. Finally, I was getting what I wanted, only I didn't want it anymore. Not this way. Baseball deserved better, but what could I do to save it? Then, that's when I saw it. A sign from above. For too long, the undulating evil of the Lazarus had made baseball its slave. I could free it, but I'd need some help.
Mr. Oppenheimer, no, there's got to be another way!
Lazarus has stolen his last soul. Get out of the way, Ellen.
Don't do it!
Hey, Pete. What are you doing here? The championships today.
Mr. Oppenheimer, listen to me. You created the Lazarus for good, didn't you?
I wanted world peace.
Well, I can't help you with that. But together we can stop Narens and save baseball.
How?
Just bring 20 gallons of Lazarus to the championship game and I'll show you. Please, it's our only hope.
Regular or extra frosty?
As cold as you can make it. That meant cranking the Lazarus into a realm of frostiness no slush had ever gone before.
It's madness.
So be it.
It was the biggest game of my life, the league championship. The kind of game that's supposed to bring out the best in a player. In my brother Pete's case, it just brought out his worst.
And that, my friend, is the way you turn a colt into a gelding.
It's gaining potency.
By the third inning, I was starting to get worried. Pete had the other team so psyched out that even seemingly ordinary words were causing damage.
Medulla oblongata.
Where were they?
What is the meaning of this?
Orange Lazarus for everyone. Why wait till after the game, Coach? It's a lock, right?
Number 5, that's bad sportsmanship. However, an empty chalice is a lonely chalice. You've learned well, number 5. That's just what we need. Drink up, prosthetics!
What's the problem here? Play ball!
Oh, come on, drink up, everybody. Gee, it's a hot one.
It's a trick. You try it first.
It's good. Cold. Come on, we got a championship to win.
It began low in the brainstem, then climbed its way to the cerebral cortex, where it leapfrogged to the frontal lobe, freezer burning every neuron in its path. Within 1.2 seconds, the Lazarus had worked its frosty magic with a 50 megaton brain freeze.
Fine champions.
Ow!
Come on!
I said play ball!
My plan wasn't to throw the game. It was to try and even the score. With Pete's head in an icy vice, his powers were disabled. Lincoln quickly clawed itself back into the game. Finally, with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, Lincoln tied the score, and the brain freeze wore off.
Lapping! Lymph drain! Blood war!
If we were gonna play real baseball,
Time!
I had to move fast.
Okay, we can beat these guys, but if we want to be real champs, it's got to be us, not him. We got to do it with baseball, and not trash talking. What do you say?
Yeah!
We don't need you.
I always knew you were a loser, number 5, but this is treason. Take him out.
Go ahead. Do it.
It's funny how a little spoonful of lard can be so explosive.
Just remember, if you destroy me, you destroy baseball, the game I love.
tell me you're a loser, too? Am I the only one who cares about winning?
Gravy boat. Elementary backstroke.
What are you talking about?
Maybe we should ask the squeezy salesman.
That won't be necessary. My frosty friend, our chariot awaits. Lazarus will rise again, slush master.
It is over, Narins, and you know it.
Don't listen to him.
Bravo!
With Narins banished from the kingdom of baseball, we were free to play the game the way it was meant to be played. Where the fate of two teams hangs not on the things that you say, but on the things that you do. We lost the championship that day, but for some reason, I didn't feel like a failure.
There you are, nice and safe.
Losers.
As for Mr. Narins, no one ever saw him again. I heard he just kept driving until the Lazarus ran out. As for me and Pete, we were on the same side again. I guess you could say that together, we saved the game of baseball that day. Maybe next year I wouldn't make it onto a winning team. Then again, maybe that's not what it takes to be a winner. This is Wellsville, my hometown. In a lot of ways, Wellsville is like most towns in America. The streets are safe. The mail almost arrives on time. And the ice cream man knows just how to beat the summer heat. But there's one thing about Wellsville you won't find in any other town. And it's something that makes us tremble in fear. It's a phone. A seemingly ordinary payphone that's been ringing for 27 years. Why doesn't someone answer it? Everybody has a theory.
Hey, you get within 5 feet of that baby and it's liquid brains. Not me, Chief.
I heard that when you answer it, you learn the exact day, hour, minute, and second that you die.
Even the phone company was afraid to go near it.
We're not afraid exactly. Phone regulations. It's a private call.
The longer it rang, the less it seemed like anyone would ever answer it. But someone was about to try. and Wellsville would never be the same.
It's mighty strange. You looking happily deranged. Can you settle the shin bed? Or have you picked your target yet? Listen, dear. Don't your dog bite? Listen, dear. Does your dog bite? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Does your dog bite? Yes, indeed.
It was the hottest, doggiest dog day of the summer. The kind of day you don't just stick to vinyl, you stick to everything. It was one of those days when all your summer dreams are burned out of your memory, like butt flesh on a superheated back seat. In some towns, they blame the heat and the humidity, but here in Wellsville, we factor in the mind-shattering sound of the ringing phone. It drove some people insane. Our mom, who has a metal plate in her head, had the hardest time of all. She says the ringing causes a sympathetic vibration in her skull.
Honey, I'll get it. Hello? Yeah, I'm ready. Call me right back.
To help her out, Dad fixed it so that when someone called, instead of the phone ringing, a different appliance would turn on.
I've got it rigged to the stove alarm. Now watch it. Well, I guess there's a few bugs I need to work out, you know?
As for me, I was content to spend the rest of the summer on our cool basement floor. It wasn't exactly Thrillsville, but at least I wasn't outside.
Green spotted horse flies. 5 o'clock. It's going after Carl.
Carl, you gotta get out of there. It's on me. It's biting.
Impervious to the summer heat, even Pete's superhero Artie couldn't pull their vacation out of the sinkhole. About the only two people still functioning in town were my mom and my best friend Ellen, helping out at the Ringing Phone Crisis Center.
Hello? There's a freak out on the corner of Douglas and Maple. Hurry! Got a book. What do we got, Hub?
Looks like a 417.
Your jacket. Oh. Pete, answer the phone.
Hello?
Pete, there's a phone crisis at Patterson Field. We could really use a volunteer.
I'd like to, but I'm on to something. I can see this little half finger in the middle.
Pete, your mom's on a call. It's really important. You're the only one I can turn to. It's life or death.
I was on my way.
The boredom. Make it stop. Kill us, Artie. Hurry.
Soon you will be as cheese, boy. Melty, melty, melty.
See bike. Shiny bike. Shiny bike, go. Follow. Shiny bike.
As I raced to the rescue, Pete and his friends followed me. The way a fish follows a lure.
Hey, kid. Over there.
Ow! Quick, stay low and watch out for paper cuts.
What's she doing?
She's trying to break away from the Earth's gravitational pull. She'll do anything to get away from the ringing. Listen, I need you to start playing. I don't care what. Just make it loud.
Right.
Hello, Mailwoman McGinty. I was wondering if we could have a little talk. But first, let me answer that ringing phone. Hello? Oh, sorry, wrong number. There, it stopped. Now we can have that little talk.
No more phone?
No more phone.
You okay?
Oh.
That was amazing.
Well, that's what it's all about, Pete. Helping people out.
Is there anything else I can do?
Well, we could really use some help at the center, but it's not always as glamorous.
I want to help.
Suddenly, I had a mission. And as it turned out,
It's metal and plastic. Why do you want to shoot it with a harpoon gun?
I wanted to be a good volunteer, but I had to find out who the phone call was for, so I could lift the curse forever.
Hello, and thanks for calling the ringing phone hotline. I wonder if you'd help us with a little questionnaire. Question 1. It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who didn't answer the phone. Confess!
Why, Mom? Pete, we're here to help people, not frighten them.
I am trying to help.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you take a lunch break? It's your first day here. Take it easy.
But, Mom, I'm hot. I'm on to something.
Lunch break.
I had to stop the curse. A curse that left its brand of madness on everyone it touched. Pete and his friends tried to keep their spirits up, but the combination of heat and fear was beginning to take its toll.
Hot. So hot. Tasty. Ah! Get away! Get away! Ah, Clem, you're talking crazy.
Oh, Booty, away with you, mind messer! Hang on, Clubby, we're almost there!
As for me, I was there, frustrated because I couldn't find the answers I was looking for. I tried to keep my cool, but the ringing phone was mocking me.
Who have you come for? Who? Tell me! I'm not afraid of you!
Maybe you should be. Stand back.
I know that voice. You call the hotline. What are you doing?
Don't be alarmed. I'm a psychiatrist.
A psychiatrist? Maybe you can help me.
Meanwhile, one last obstacle stood in the way of the Magnificent Four.
Out of our way, gatekeepy! Sorry, Chief. I can't let you cross. This street's been declared a danger area. I call it a stovetop.
It takes more than some hot asphalt to stop us.
But Nona was wrong. In fact, it took nothing more than hot asphalt to stop them in their tracks.
Great! Now we're stranded. You'll have to go on without us.
You can break the code of the crosswalk, Chief, but you can't break the laws of physics. That's what you think, crossboy! Onward, my Viking! Come on, my Viking! That's it! It's good! Up, move, and then to the other shoe, and then the wingtip. Problem. Hey, smart guys. What do you got to say for yourself now?
Ah! It's over.
Kaput! Curse you!
At least we tried to save the town.
Yeah. Hey! What do you want on your tombstone?
Here lies Pete and Artie. They answered the call.
Yeah!
Ellen! A psychiatrist, a Dr. Bert Looper. He drew up this whole psychiatric profile of the first passerby. Listen. Probably filled with guilt. Feels the need to help out. Maybe here. Disturbed by the sound of ringing phones.
Wow. Who could it be?
I was about to find out.
Ringing phone crisis center.
Hey, son, it's Dad. I think I finally got it all figured out. Call me back, huh? And if this works, your mother will never have to worry about a phone ringing in this house again.
Mom?
Boy! Don't let it smell your fear!
Too late.
Go!
Finally, Pete and Artie had come face to face with their dreaded foe.
Your kind never learns, does it?
No, Artie, don't do it.
Please, boy. Stand back! This phone is going down, for I am Archie! Ah! The strongest man! In the world!
And then there was one.
It's the last roundup, Cowboy Ed. Time for all good dogies to mosey on to bed. You giddy up now.
I know, Mom.
Know what, dear?
It was you, wasn't it? The phone call. It was for you this whole time. Why didn't you answer it?
Pete, I was younger than you. I was just walking by and it started ringing and I thought it might be for me, but I was afraid.
For 27 years?
Yeah, well, I volunteer every day and I've done everything I possibly can to help.
Except answer it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I gotta go.
What's going on?
Somebody's gonna answer the phone.
Who?
Your brother.
Pete.
Pete!
It had all come down to this. Pete was as scared as he'd ever been. But as he felt the panic surge through his body, he finally understood the curse of the ringing phone.
I'll get it.
It wasn't about learning the moment of your death or liquefying your brains. The curse was living in fear, and that was something he couldn't live with anymore.
Excuse me, trained professional coming through. Excuse me.
Joyce, what are you doing?
Something I should have done 27 years ago.
Pete! 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 Pete, no!
Pete, it's up to me.
Hello? It's for you.
Hello? Mm-hmm. This is kind of personal. Would you mind? Uh-huh. You just called me at home. Why don't we talk about it, okay?
For 27 years, Hub Callister had been reaching out to my mom. 27 years of waiting for one woman to answer his call.
I've loved you since the 7th grade. I just couldn't bring myself to tell you in person. So I called you on the phone when you walked by one day.
Hub.
When you didn't answer, I just kept it ringing. I got this job to stay with it. I just hoped that someday you'd pick it up.
Well, Hub, I like you. But I love my husband. You understand, don't you?
After nearly 3 decades of fear, the curse was finally over. But as we were about to learn, the legend of the ringing phone would never end. Hub knew that Mom would never pick up the phone, but it didn't really matter. To him, the rings were like an eternal flame he kept lit by simply staying on the line. To this day, when we hear the rings, it reminds us that true love, if it's really true, doesn't need an answer. This is my brother Pete, and this is Gary. Technically, Gary is Pete's pet, but the truth is, they're best friends.
Quit stalling, insect breath. Move.
Some people say it's not a good idea to have a lizard for a pet, mostly because they really don't do anything except eat, sunbathe, and sulk a lot. Gary was different. He was a lizard who knew how to live large. But as we were all about to find out,
This one?
the very lust for life that made Gary special would finally do him in.
Hey, smiling strange, you looking happily deranged. Can you settle a shin bed? Or have you picked your target yet? Hey, Sandy, does your dog bite? Hey, Sandy. Does your dog bite? Hey, Sandy.
The bond between a boy and his reptile is a beautiful thing.
Buckle up, Gary. It's not just a law. It feels good.
Their friendship was responsible for the invention of a lizard-sized foosball game, a lizard-sized shower massage, and of course, a lizard-sized bike seat.
Hang on, Gary. I only know one speed. Fast.
While Pete and Gary made interspecies communication look easy, I was having problems talking to a member of my own family. My dad.
I'll never have to turn on a spigot again. How about those automatic sprinklers, huh, Pete?
Automatic is good.
Hey, you bet it's good.
I used to talk to my dad about everything. But one day, something changed. It was like I could see the words come right out of my mouth. And they looked stupid. But then again, anything was better than saying nothing. And plunging into the parent-kid black hole of silence known as the Big Quiet.
So, Pete, how's marching band?
It's good.
So, how's your summer vacation going?
Good.
Just between you and me, how's your love life? Good?
But it wasn't good at all. And as things between Dad and I got worse, I actually started to get a little jealous of Pete and Gary. They talked about everything.
I never told anyone this, but clowns, you know, the kind of the circus, they scare me. Don't tell anyone, okay?
Before the Big Quiet got bigger, I decided to talk to my friends.
You're not alone, Pete. We've all been through it.
I never know what to talk about with my dad. So whenever he's around, I just fake falling asleep. He thinks I have a degenerative brain disorder.
Well, I made an action figure of my dad, and I spent a half an hour every day with it on intensive conversation drills.
You guys are lucky. My dad and I have to go to a special kind of therapy. We talk with socks.
If I say something dumb, you'll treat me like a kid.
But you are a kid.
No, I'm not. I'm a talking sock.
Good. Sock puppets?
It's not so bad. Get to keep him afterwards.
Pete! Gary! Oh, devastating tragedy. Unspeakable pile.
I was chasing his ball. I yelled for him to stop, but Gary was too excited. He never saw the car. Holy moly.
That lizard came out of nowhere. I didn't see him.
Sorry, kiddo. He's gone.
Sorry, my little Viking.
Oh, I failed the code of the crosswalk. To serve and protect.
I know your pain.
Give the lad room.
Shouldn't you do something? Maybe just be with him.
Not now. I think he needs to be alone.
I've lost pets too. I know how it feels. So if you ever want to talk, let me know.
What do I do now?
Come on, I'll show you. It's not much, but it's something.
Monica Perling is kind of famous for having bad luck with pets. So when someone's pet dies, she's there, prepared. Kind of like a Girl Scout of death. And she's had a lot of pets.
Wow! Here lies Tina, the gutsiest yellowfin lilyfish ever. I told her 1,000,000 times, lilyfish aren't supposed to skydive. But she just wouldn't listen. Over here is Norba.
you ever get a snake, take all your mom's high heels and throw them in the river. See, these guys were my true friends. Like you and Gary. You don't just forget a friend, do you?
Little did Pete know that those words would change him forever. And speaking of words, I was trying to avoid using them at all costs. First, I tried the mouth full technique. It worked, but I gained 5 pounds. Then I gave up speaking altogether. I figured it was a foolproof plan.
Hey, Pete, what's up?
But there was no escape.
Pete? Your dad and I would like to talk to you.
I was headed for sock puppet therapy.
Honey, this has gone too far. We've got to do something.
I don't want to wear a sock. Come and sit down, son. We need to talk.
We're worried. It's Pete. And you've got to help us. He's really broken up over losing Gary. So, this Saturday, I want you and your father to drive to the Lizard Ranch in Cumberland and find him a new pet.
Cumberland? But that's a 2-hour drive.
Well, that's okay, son. Give us a chance to shoot the breeze, you know, like we used to. Huh?
The day of Gary's funeral was the saddest day of Pete's life. Fortunately, Monica got Pete a good deal on a turquoise coffin with taffeta inlays. She said Lou Costello went out that way. I guess that made Pete feel a little better.
Dearly large, today's a day for goodbyes. I remember the tingly-tongued lad, Gary, as we called him, in the way. And now, well now, he's but a memory, living somewhere in the lap of the big one. Gary, wherever you are, always know that there is a hand of Bob's your uncle, finely dealt for you. Anything to add? Anyone? Anything to add at all? Anything at all?
I guess you can all go now. Thanks for your time.
It's all my fault, Chief. I let you down. I let Gary down. I'm giving up my post. You just say the word and I'll be here 24 hours a day.
Is there anything I can do?
Just don't forget Gary. Ever. Because I won't.
I could tell that Gary's funeral wasn't enough for Pete. And as they laid the Lizard King into his final resting place, Pete swore there'd be no rest for Wellsville until Gary got the goodbye he deserved. Saying goodbye to someone can be hard, even when you know you're going to see them again. But for Pete, saying goodbye to Gary was the hardest thing in his whole life.
This is What Radio? Before I play The End by Jim Morrison, the Lizard King himself, I want to tell you about tomorrow's tribute. Hands Across Wellsville. We're going to start at Mrs. Jakuti's front lawn and make a 20-mile-long human chain in honor of my Lizard King, Gary. Where is everybody?
We're here, Chief. That's what counts. To do your duty.
Gary deserves more respect, Pete. When Lincoln died, they shut down a railroad for a week. We gotta do something big, too.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll think of something.
Ah! Ellen, geez, you scared me.
It's just an action figure.
I know, but it's so real.
Thanks. Now just relax, okay? The key is to come up with things that your dad likes to talk about, to take the pressure off you.
Okay. Dad, you know, automatic sprinklers are really great. You know, the way they sprinkle automatically.
Whoa, this is serious.
It started pretty rough, but gradually, I got a little more comfortable.
You know, Dad, I don't throw the word soulmates around lightly, but you and me, we're cosmic companions.
Hey, you two, what's going on?
We're playing with a doll.
Your mother doesn't know about this, does she? Good. Hey, remember, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's a long way to the Lizard Ranch.
Meanwhile, Pete was still trying to make the world remember Gary. So that night, he unveiled his big idea, a multimedia extravaganza called Gary Max.
Gary and Pete did everything together. Here they are, checking the fuse box.
Instead of honoring Gary's memory, I was busy cramming my head full of dad facts.
Okay, ready? Antifungal cream should always be applied.
By a doctor.
No, directly to the problem area.
My turn. What's your dad's philosophy of life?
Always sear in the juices. No!
That's his grilling philosophy.
And here's Gary and Petunia doing the Aztec jiggle. We seem to be having some technical difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen, stay in your seat. Gary Max will be right back.
Hey, you Flaymates, come back!
I know you want to see that lizard boogie.
Nobody cares.
Thanks, guys. I owe you.
Here, take these. It's 2 hours worth of material. Now I put 2 emergency cards in there. One is a joke about a peacock and a duck, and the other says to talk about compound interest. Hopefully you won't need them. I'll be thinking about you.
So, Ellen, what's your excuse?
I was busy. Sorry, Pete.
You're right. It doesn't matter. By tomorrow, the whole world will know about Gary.
And you better get there early. The first 50 mourners get a free black armband.
Fire it up, Frank. We've got work to do.
A friendly reminder, don't look into the flame.
So finally, the big day arrived. Both of us stood, staring into the gaping maw of a giant abyss. For me, it was the big quiet. For Pete, it was eternity itself.
This eternal flame will last forever. Just like Gary's memory.
Pete had built the most elaborate memorial ever designed for a pet.
Don't worry, Chief. It's early yet. People will come.
Make it bigger, so the whole world can see. Don't worry, I get propane at wholesale.
Crank it, Frank.
10-4, Chief. Quick reminder, do not look into the flame.
It worked.
As for me, well, the time had come to either spit in the eye of the big quiet or become its whimpering slave.
So, Dad, how's the webworm problem?
Webworms? What are you talking about?
I mean, moth larvae. Webworms are also known as moth larvae.
Oh, that. Well, let me tell you what I did. I made my own formula. It's all natural ingredients. In fact, I even used some Hoover Dam well water.
You know, Dad, I read an article that says people are using fruit in their barbecue marinade.
Well, you know, I heard that before, too. But you know what the key to marinating is? It's simple. It's not the time, it's the ingredients.
Yes. The kid was on a roll. We were shooting the breeze and laying down the miles. And with a fistful of dad ammo at my disposal, I was in the driver's seat. That is, until fate blindsided me.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, there's a traffic jam. Oh, for gosh sakes, we could be stuck here for hours.
Hours? I can't. We can't.
I couldn't believe it. A 5-mile backup. All because one man was doing his duty at death's door.
Right this way.
Instead of the crosswalk, where he belonged. The longer we sat in traffic, the more dad ammo I used up. Finally, all I had left were my 2 emergency cards. So, Dad, what can you tell me about compound interest?
Compound interest? Well, a lot. I mean, the term compound. Well, oh, will you look at this traffic? Oh. You know, there's only one thing in this world I can count on.
Factory pressed charcoal?
No, my automatic sprinklers.
And now Gary's memory will live forever, just like this flame. No!
Well, this has been very interesting. I think we'll head over to the Acoustic Tile Museum now. Thanks. Bye.
Pete, honey, this has gone too far. You've done a great job telling the world about Gary, but now it's time to stop.
No, don't give up. Once this thing dries, you'll be mourning again in no time.
No, Pete. It's time to start living again. That's what Gary loved about you.
Don't let go. Ever.
I guess I should turn off the sprinkler.
No, don't. Water's good for the bugs, and that's good for lizards. Mom, can you help me with something?
As Pete stepped back from the edge of the abyss, I was falling. Fast.
So, Dad, a duck and a peacock walk into a bar.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
What was the point? It was sock puppet therapy for me. There was nothing I could do but surrender to the nothingness of the big quiet.
Go ahead. They walk into the bar.
And that's when Pete saved me.
This is a special bulletin from Mort Radio.
After all the tributes and memorials, Pete decided it was finally time to say goodbye. And with the metal plate in our mom's head boosting the signal to 3 counties, Pete said so long, his way.
A few days ago, I lost my friend, Gary. And ever since, I've been trying to figure out how to say goodbye. I guess the answer is, there's nothing to say. So maybe we could all just think about him with a minute of silence. To Gary, friend, neighbor, Lizard King.
All along, I had feared the quiet. And now that I was in it, I realized that I didn't have to fill the space between Dad and I with a lot of words. If I couldn't think of something to say, I could just be quiet. He'd still be my dad. We'd still love each other.
Thanks. And now on with the show.
What do you say we go home now? I got a feeling Pete's okay. Were you saying something before?
Oh, yeah. But it's not important.
In the end, Pete's moment of silence spoke to all of us, each in a different way. Frank returned to his post, where he protected all species, big and small. Pete learned that you can let go of a friend without letting go of a friendship.
Didn't she like a bike seat?
As for me, well, not all of my fears about talking with Dad were cured.
Want a lift?
Dad!
But then again, sometimes talking isn't all it's cracked up to be. There comes that terrible moment every year when daylight savings time ends. Some rat fink takes away that extra hour, and your fading memories of summer finally disappear. Some people get sad, but not my brother Pete. He knows that on that famous hour-sucking day, you get to time travel. In the spring, you spring forward, but in the fall, you fall back. That means that at midnight, you get to go back in time and live the same hour twice. To celebrate this wobble in the time warp, Pete and I always spend that legendary hour doing something, well, legendary. It's a time-honored tradition, but this year, I just forgot. I guess I had more important things on my mind than traveling into the past. I was thinking about the future. This is the day.
Sure is.
It's one of those days when you feel you could write with your foot.
There's less gravity.
Yep. Pete, I'm gonna do it. After all these years of wondering, I'm gonna pick up the phone, dial Owen's number, and say, let's go out on a date tonight.
Kill me with the brick!
Hey, smiling strange, you looking happily deranged. Can you settle the shin bed? Or have you picked your target yet? It's ended. Don't your dog bite? It's ended.
Instead of turning the clock back one measly hour, I think Pete wishes he could turn it back 10,000 hours. Back to a time when we did everything together. Now there's days when he doesn't even like to breathe the same air as me. I have to admit, sometimes I wish I could turn the clock back a couple thousand hours too. Back to a time when Ellen and I knew exactly what we were. Back before things started to get confusing.
Ellen had always been a girl and a friend, but finally I had to know. Was she a girlfriend?
I tried calling her from different places on different phones, but nothing felt right. It took a while, but once I found the right spot, destiny was one ring away.
Hello, Hickle Residence. Alan speaking.
Her dad makes her answer the phone that way. It kills me.
Hello? Pickle Residence.
Hey, Pete, what's up?
Notice anything different about the gravity today?
No, not really.
Try writing something with your foot.
Okay.
Ellen? Do you want to go out on a date with me tonight? Ellen? Hello?
I'm here. It's just... Wow, Pete, we've been friends for so long. A real date?
You and me.
Why do I hear birds all of a sudden?
Look outside. So what do you say?
I mean, yes!
My destiny was in motion, but Pete's was still sucking wind. His time-travel dream had always been for us to do something so legendary that they'd immortalize the moment with a souvenir slidey pen, like the one he got at the Alamo. But without me there beside him, he wasn't exactly sure what to do.
Hey, Pete, what you got in there? Some chicken pot pies or something?
Nah, time travel stuff. Supplies.
The kit included Krebs Stick 2000 deodorant, crucial for sealing your pores. A mood ring for scientific tests in the time warp continuum. Yellow means worried. And most importantly, riboflavin. Without a megadose of riboflavin, you could end up stuck in the time vortex.
Stranded for eternity.
Well, Bill bet me. He bet me I wouldn't do it. But I did it. Now pay me the $1.
I didn't say dollar. I said doll hair.
Then give me one doll hair. Come on, I want it.
What's with you? I called up Ellen and asked her out. We're going on a date tonight.
What? Nothing. It's just... It was supposed to happen with you guys. Wouldn't it have happened by now?
Not necessarily. We were just waiting for the right moment.
And you just decided that today was that day?
It is the day. You want proof? Huh? How about a little test? If the next car that drives by is, I don't know, yellow, then Ellen and I are meant to be.
Too easy.
Make it a yellow school bus.
Okay, a yellow school bus.
Get in.
Sorry, fellas. Gotta go. Big, date tonight. Keep in touch.
And just like that, fate gave me the big green light.
Hey, Stu, how's it going?
Sally left me again.
Over nothing!
Or was it a big red light? What if fate was telling me I'd end up like Driver Stu? A shattered casualty of love.
Doesn't matter. I'm fine. I got a whole new outlook on things. Look.
Plus, I'm driving my bus to the Arctic Circle, where I'm gonna tattoo Sally's name to my forehead, strap myself to an iceberg, and drift slowly off to sea.
Good plan, Stu. You mind if I get off before then?
Sure. I brought sandwiches.
Meanwhile, as 2,000% of the recommended daily allowance for riboflavin surged through his body, Pete wondered if he'd even need it. Then fate smiled. It was an evil, twisted smile by Endless Mike Hellstrom, the most hated bully in town. But it was still a smile.
Hi there.
Hi there. You're new around here, aren't you?
Yes, I am. My name's Donna Mecklenburg. What's your name?
What's my name? That's my name. Oh, I gotta hand it to you, Wrigley. You sure know how to party.
It's for time traveling, you cheese plug.
Ooh, time traveling. Guess your big brother didn't get all the dink genes after all, huh?
Let me ask you one question, Mike. Were you ever a kid?
Was I ever a kid? No.
We'll see about that.
The mood ring said it all. It was a red alert that warned the world that my brother had a plan. A plan that would obliterate Endless Mike and turn Pete into a slidey pen god. I wasn't nearly so confident. After my chat with Stu, I was ready to call the whole thing off. Then once again, fate smiled. It was a sickening, sadistic smile, but it was still a smile. It would be the ultimate test. I just asked good old Mike if I could borrow his wheels for the date. If he said yes, then Ellen and I would be together until the end of time. If he said no, then I guess our love was never meant to be.
Look, you can see your reflection. It's nice. What are you doing here, Carrot Head? Spit it out or I'll spit you out.
Hey, Mike, I was just wondering if I could borrow your car for the night. Big date with Ellen.
Oh, you don't say. Well, well, well. It's about time you guys dropped the puck and played a little tonsil hockey, huh?
Really? You think so?
Sure. See, the only thing is that tonight is my drive-in night. And I never miss my drive-in night.
That's okay. Really. It probably wouldn't have worked out anyway.
No. We can't let that happen. You came to me in your time of need, Wrigley. Can't let you down. Ride like the wind, soul brother.
My insane scheme was working perfectly, except for one detail. I can't drive.
No problem. Take you over to the drive-in, get you set up. Drive-in's not about driving anyway, right? Right. Get in.
I was seeing a whole new side to Endless Mike, and after his daring raid of the Hellstrom house, Pete got to see a whole new side of me.
What's your brother doing with that scuzz monkey?
The dark side beckons him. Come on, let's motor. I know, but this could be a felony.
Cool.
After you get your arm around her, and you're ready for your next step, just to create a cocoon of love by keeping the windows fogged up at all times, okay? No fog, no fun.
But how will we see the movie?
What? What are you talking about?
I mean, how do you keep them fogged?
All right, just listen, okay? You close the roof, like so, right? Then, you go over here, and if you turn the fan and the heat, equalize both of them with a light defroster current, you can control the mean humidity. Oh, that, with her hot, steaming breath, it'll take care of the rest, big boy.
Right. Now, once you get the cocoon going all nice and perfect, right? Then you hit the go button. You hit the go, and then, my friend, then you know.
Final test.
Oh, yeah. All right. You're on your own. Welcome to the future, Pete Wrigley. Don't blow it.
How could I blow it? I had a car, I had a date, I had the world. As the clock ticked off the final hours of daylight savings time, one Pete prepared to travel into the past, while the other Pete prepared for the future. It arrived at precisely 9:27 p.m. daylight savings time, wearing a new vest and a nervous smile.
Hi.
Hi. I can't believe this. You got Endless Mike to lend you his car.
Yeah, he drove me here and everything. Believe it or not, he's not really that bad a guy.
Incredible.
Isn't it?
We're on a date.
You and me.
Welcome to the Wellsville Drive-In. Please remember that theater rules prohibit smoking, littering, and beeping your horn like morons when the film is out of focus. Or when it's dirty. That really stings my plans.
How do you know Mike will be here? He's always here. Look! Like clockwork.
While Pete began his countdown, I began mine.
Nothing to worry about.
I was worried about you.
Thank you for worrying.
Finally, at 10:51 daylight savings time, I made my initial contact.
I think I'm gonna go get us some popcorn.
With time running out, I needed fog, and I needed it fast.
I will stay in control. I will not get angry. I am a self-actualized, caring person who loves nature, long walks, and little children.
Peter, you okay?
Fine. Never better. Let me get that for you.
Sugar loaf.
Sure is foggy in here.
Sure is.
Kinda hard to see the movie.
I know.
Ready to die.
Here she comes. Hand me my riboflavin.
Maybe we should take all this a little slower, Pete.
We've been taking it slow our entire lives, Ellen. Don't you want to know?
All I want to know is, can you get me some jujubes?
Sure thing, honey pie.
snot on a cracker! What are you doing here? Where's Endless Mike?
I'm here with Ellen. Mike lent me his car. What are you doing here?
Nothing now, thanks to you.
What did I do?
You blew it big time. You forgot.
Forgot what?
Forget it.
I opened up the roof.
All right. Great move. Outstanding.
With only 10 minutes to go until the movie ended, I had to take the final leap.
What are you doing?
It's the final test for us, Ellen. You hit the go, and then you know.
What are you talking about? Pete, you're not acting like yourself. You're acting just like, I don't know, you're acting like... Mike!
Mike?
Mike?
Hi, I'm Mike. Just wanted to stop by and see how you young lovers were doing. Timing with the go button? Very tasty. 10 points.
Go button? What is he talking about?
Go button?
I'm not quite sure I've ever heard of.
However, I must say I'm extremely disappointed in this so-called cocoon of love. What did I tell you, huh? No fog, no fun.
I can explain. Really?
No fog, no fun? Is that all I mean to you? After all we've been through? After all these years? This is what you think of me?
Ellen!
Something I said?
I had hoped that by midnight, I would know if Ellen was a friend or more than a friend. Now, thanks to my stupidity, she was neither.
Let's light this candle. Whoa! What a rush!
What is going on here?
History.
We interrupt tonight's feature, That Kind of Woman, to bring you a special film presentation. We hope you enjoy it. It's called Endless Mike. The early days.
Close your eyes!
Hey, Pete. Pete, listen up. When you forget about me, I want to forget about you. But I can't. There aren't too many of us time travelers left.
Time travel? It's tonight?
You've got 1 hour to do one thing you've always wanted to do. So go do it, you Nimrod.
The end of daylight savings time gave me a shot at a new beginning with Ellen. At least in theory.
Leave me alone! Go away. It's late enough as it is. My father is going to kill me. We said we know by midnight. It's past midnight.
No, it isn't. It's only 11:30. Daylight savings time ended. We've got a second chance. We can live the hour over again.
After what you did to me?
I know. I'm sorry. I kind of got lost in the future. I know that sounds weird, but now I'm back. And all I want to do is go back to when... Ellen... I just want to be friends again.
Maybe that's what we were supposed to be.
Walk you home? In the end, I realized that there are some things you just can't force. As much as you want to, you can't control time. At best, you can turn the clock back 1 hour a year. Make that 2 hours in Pete's case. Because as he pedaled his way to glory that night, the Time Lord crossed into the Central Time Zone. And when he did, he got to time travel again for another full hour. Sure enough, they did make that slidey pen for him. They're kinda rare, but if you look hard enough, you can probably find one.
Well, night, buddy.
Good night, pal.
Would Ellen and I ever figure out whether we were friends or more than friends? I guess only time would tell. This is my dad, and these are his new underpants. The thing he loves most about opening a vacuum-sealed 3-pack of Crebo the Loom is the fact that some inspector made sure each pair meets government standards. But not even my dad thinks about who that inspector might be.
Only in America, Joyce.
Who does? Most people find those inspected by tags in their clothes and just toss them. Not my brother Pete. He started collecting tags ever since he noticed a weird pattern. Every pair of underpants he ever got was approved by one inspector.
34, you did it again.
At first, he thought it was a coincidence. But as he went day after day, without binding, without chafing, in complete snugness, he finally understood. Inspector 34 was really your guardian angel? Strange as it sounded, Pete knew Inspector 34 was out there, watching over him. And as we were all about to learn, he was absolutely right.
It's mighty strange. You looking happily deranged. Can you settle it in bed? Or have you picked your target yet? It's in there. Don't your dog bite? It's in there.
They say that at first, no one believed in the theories of Christopher Columbus and Albert Einstein. So I guess Pete was in pretty good company.
I don't care how snug they fit. You're nuts.
Guardian angel? Get help.
It wasn't hard to think my brother was crazy. Every day, he sent fan letters to Crebo the Loom to show Inspector 34 his appreciation. And every night, he fired up his landing pad, hoping Inspector 34 would show. To tell you the truth, I kind of figured Inspector 34 was just a man in a factory myself, until the next day. It began when me and Ellen were practicing for our school band, the Fighting Squids. This year, instead of spelling squid, the band was forming a squid shape. and we were auditioning together for the coveted part of the left tentacle.
What's the matter, Pete?
After all those letters to the factory, all I got were these lousy underpants.
Pete, urgent. Meet me Thursday night at 9:00 p.m. behind the Pine Disinfectant Plant. Inspector 34?
He needs me.
Don't shake it. Twist the lid 1/4 turn to the right.
The Krebstar 9300 series has a defect in the positive battery terminal. Pete Wrigley, I've watched you grow from a toddler 3 to a 14 regular.
Inspector 34.
I'm sorry to drag you out like this, but I need help.
Name it.
What am I thinking? I can't ask this of you.
Wait! I know 24 knots. And I'm well trained in high explosives. Let me help.
It's not like that. The work I do is very important. If I miss one flaw, well, you know what's at stake. And yet, sometimes I wonder, is there more to life than underpants? Have I struggled so hard for perfection that life is passing me by? You seem to know how to have fun, how to cut loose, as they say. I was wondering, can you teach me?
Mom, Dad, this is a friend of mine, Inspector 34.
Inspector 34, yeah. And I am...
Don Wrigley, 37 stout, down from 38.
That's right.
Joyce, the way you stay size 6 is an inspiration. Pete, Ellen, you've grown so fast it's hard to keep up.
You know us too?
I look after many people, but not many invite me to dinner.
Well, make yourself at home, Mr. Inspector.
It was pretty weird. None of us had ever seen anyone eat so neatly. Everything Inspector 34 did was perfect.
Look at that stacking.
That was delicious. I'll help clean up.
Well, thank you.
Don't touch that. Go get my camera. Right. Go.
Loose wood, never good.
Inspector 34 showed us how perfect life could be. Now Pete was going to show 34 how to live it.
Go ahead. Kick it. This is Inspector 34.
You're real?
As real as your new Lou Costello boxer shorts, Clem.
Wow. How about a game of Kick the Can?
Me?
Sure thing. Just close your eyes and count to 10 while we tear butt and kick the can.
What the hey? Only, if I might make a suggestion, perhaps the game would be more efficiently played in teams. With boundaries. Say the end of the yard. Perhaps a set game time would streamline things.
Why didn't we think of that?
I'm trained to catch defects before they become defeats.
Come on, Chowderheads. Let's play can.
Inspector 34 had jumped off the sidelines. Not only was he learning to live, he was learning to make life better, thanks to his amazing powers of perfection.
9, 10.
Maybe the best thing of all, he was finally beginning to learn that being perfect didn't have to mean being alone.
I think tentacles sway. They don't waggle.
Trust me, I've seen him waggle in the movies. What do you think, Inspector 34?
I think best friends ought to agree when it counts. And you two should put your heads together and come up with something.
Inspector 34.
Pete, you've given me so much more than I can ever repay. This is so much better than underpants.
Don't mention it.
You know, I used to look at all the flaws in the world and I'd think if I could make one thing perfect. And then I did. Underpants. But why set my sights so low? I mean, look at the problems with the oceans and that hole in the ozone. I think I can help. And I think you can too, Pete. I want to teach you everything I know. I want to make you an inspector like me.
And so the student became the teacher. Instead of learning how to enjoy life, Inspector 34 was teaching Pete how to inspect it.
Before you can inspect anything, you have to first inspect yourself. This might hurt.
Make it stop! Please make it stop!
While Pete began his inspector training, a funny thing was happening to the rest of us. It was like we were trying to become more like 34. More perfect. And the things that weren't perfect, like my friendship with Ellen, suddenly began to matter. We had all had a taste of perfection. And now everything else tasted like chunky milk. Now that my brother Pete was on the road to perfection,
You're late.
he didn't have much time to spend with his friends. After all, playing kick the can seemed dull compared to inspecting underpants.
Let's get started, people. We're burning daylight. Come on.
Working together, Pete figured he and 34 would perfect the world, and nothing could get in the way. But he was wrong.
You're Parking Enforcement Officer Macmillan. PEO Mac, they call you. Size 8. Regular.
You're Inspector 34.
I see you're working.
When am I not? Law enforcement is full-time work. I misjudge one curbed car and the whole criminal justice system collapses.
I too bear a grim responsibility for the public good. Sometimes it's pretty lonely.
Pete had seen that stupid look before. On me. He knew love could turn a normal man into loose, drippy jello.
I thought we were gonna save the world.
We will. I just made one date, that's all. We're two professionals. Meeting. Professionally.
Right and left sleeve crooked label, fourth button backwards.
Not bad, but not perfect. Let's try it again.
So Pete decided he had to hurry up and finish his training. That way, he could go on and save the world alone. But Pete wasn't the only one working round the clock. My dad spent most nights scarfing chicken in search of the best way to stack bones.
Come on, my little femur. Give me purchase.
While Mom fixed the creak in the door, the stairs, the pepper mill, and even her creek fixing tools. Now she was ready to take on the attic.
I'm going up.
Even Pete's friends made kick the can so efficient, they no longer had to play. Instead, they calculated the probabilities of who would win.
Bye, game.
Yeah.
I'm beat. Let's call it a day.
And finally, the big day arrived. Inspector 34 and P.E.O. Mac were going to have their big date. But first, Pete was about to take his final and most grueling test.
Torn left seam, extra label glue, pucker in the cup, a tear in the spandex, 5th row.
Perfect!
I made it. I'm an inspector.
Well, not quite yet, Pete. There's one more thing. You see, we inspectors hew to a stricter code than do civilians. It's not enough to just pass a test. You have to prove you're ready. A real inspector will know how. Well, I have a date.
But what about our mission?
I'll be back.
No, you won't.
If you don't get it right, we'll never make it, Ellen.
I was doing it right. You're just too stubborn to admit it.
Maybe Inspector 34 was right. Best friends are supposed to agree.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be best friends.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right. While my lifelong friendship with Ellen was drifting away, Inspector 34's life with P.E.O. Mac was just beginning.
Everything is perfect. The sky, the grass, the barometric pressure, the turkey and Swiss.
I'm a great cook and a modest.
Come on, that was a joke.
Yes, funny.
What's the matter? What is it?
You know, Mac, maybe this isn't such a good idea. I mean, I've a very heavy workload. It's not a good time for me to be dating. I'm sorry. Goodbye. Effective inseam could cause chafing.
Inspector 34.
You were right. Love can't interfere. I'm needed. We're needed. We've got a job to do. You passed. You saw something I didn't see. You inspected the situation and you saw that love was in the way. That's the final test. These are for you. You'll have to fill in your name for now until we get you a number.
I made it.
I should have listened to you. I don't need love. I have my work. That's what I love. I came to you to see if there was more to life. Now I know there is. My mission. Our mission. That's all that matters. Any distraction must be eliminated.
But...
No buts, buddy boy. Time to get tough. Today it's underpants. Tomorrow, the world.
Now that he had finally made it, Pete could see what perfection was doing to all of us, including himself. My brother Pete thought he and Inspector 34 were going to save mankind. Now he had a new mission, to save his friends and family from the icy grip of perfection and to rescue Inspector 34 from himself.
You know what you're doing.
He sure did. My brother was wearing the defective underpants from his training, figuring it would attract 34 like a beacon. And sure enough...
You passed these underpants for inspection?
What are you talking about?
Suppose this isn't your tag. I say you've gone soft. You're a disgrace to your number. You're not fit to inspect.
What are you doing?
You told me, before you can become an inspector, you have to prove yourself worthy. I say you don't have the guts.
I taught you everything. Now you challenge me? All right. I submit to inspection. But when I pass, it'll be your turn. And there won't be enough left of you to wipe up with a moisty nap.
Pete planned a series of brutal tests. First, putting an ice tray in the freezer without spilling a drop. Next, squeezing every molecule of toothpaste out of a tube. All through the day, test after grueling test, Inspector 34 was perfect.
That is snug.
It seemed like nothing could stop him.
Well, is that all?
One more test.
Give me what you've got. Then it's your turn. Watch and learn.
The final test? Table manners. With barbecue chicken. One of the messiest foods known to man. Inspector 34 was perfect, and it looked like Pete was meat.
Moisty nap?
Not necessary.
Then suddenly, it hit us like a truckload of underpants.
Moisty naps?
You're supposed to use your hands.
It just tastes better that way.
Barbecues are supposed to be messy. Eating perfectly is imperfect. You fail!
I'm supposed to be perfect. What am I?
Wait!
You've won.
34, we're not like underpants. We're people. We're not supposed to be perfect.
I'm defective. I don't belong here.
Yes, you do.
How about staying for dinner? We'll do a real barbecue.
I'll teach you everything I know.
With each greasy, sloppy bite we took, we moved further away from perfection. And so did Inspector 34, who decided he was going to give imperfection his best shot. Maybe that would mean that now and then a pair of underpants would make it to Wellsville with twisted elastic or crooked seams. But then again, maybe that wouldn't be so bad.
He's coming down, but he's not alone. He's gonna bring an army of saints, and he's taking all his brides home, and then destroying what remains. Waiting for October. I cross my fingers 'cause my heart won't to die. Waiting for October. I'm in the book and I'll be learning to be with, to be with. Hoping that the
Once a year, like the leaves, it comes. A magical night when bedtimes disappear and identities change.
Trick or treat.
When the ghouls and goblins of our souls are set free to roam the night and scarf candy. For the true believers, Halloween is the ultimate holiday. For me, it's the ultimate dork holiday. Halloween is for Halloweenies.
Gotcha! You blinked.
Wrong. Pete thinks I'm the weenie for not believing anymore. What happened to my Halloween spirit? Where did it go? And once it's gone, can it ever return? Pete and I were about to find out, and the answers would either save Halloween or destroy it forever.
It's mighty strange. You looking at the leafy rain. I can't settle in bed. Or have you picked your target yet? It's ended. Don't your dog bite? It's ended.
What is it about Halloween that gets kids all wiggly? For some, it's eating enough candy corn to launch a lunar probe. But for my brother Pete, it's something much simpler. Immortality. Or, as it's known in Wellsville,
The record.
you see, 31 Halloweens ago, Greg and Judy Stilp trick-or-treated to 374 houses in one night. By midnight, they were legends.
Gods.
Like Apollo and Athena.
Who?
Apollo and Athena. They were brother and sister. Only Athena didn't have a mother, so she just sprang out of her father's head, ready to fight. I saw the picture.
The record has never been broken. Me and Pete always tried. But then he quit.
Athena never quit. I won't either.
The thing you have to realize is that to Pete,
Suction.
Halloween isn't a holiday. It's a holy day, and a gutted gourd is a token of thanks to the Halloween gods.
You are the chosen one.
But even the truest of the true believers need a little help now and then. And that's where crossing guard Frank Gulcher comes into the story.
Good day, citizens.
Hey, Frank. Nice wheels. Born to be wild, huh?
No, that's my surveillance assault vehicle.
You need that thing to guard the crosswalk?
Oh, no. I'm on special assignment, Chief. Halloween duty. I've been called to serve and protect Sector 17. Now listen up, you two. Tomorrow night, be sure to buddy up, because they're out there. Oh, they're out there, all right.
Pete knew exactly who they were. The Pumpkin Eaters. A pack of goons who turn Halloween into Halloween. No one knows their true identities, but every year they rip through Wellsville like a twister, pulverizing the Halloween spirit of everyone who still believes. They are the Dark Knights of Halloween.
Good buckets.
You got that right, Chief. The thing is, that if we don't stop the Pumpkin Eaters, this is, our last Halloween.
What?
Sorry, Chief. I know how much it means to you, but I don't make the rules. The word just came down. Oh, remember, Chief, today's Devil's Night. 24 hours to the big show. Be careful out there.
Last Halloween. Wow. How's Pete taking it?
Like someone punched his soul. Between you and me, I hope this is the last Halloween. I'm sick of it. Whoa. Check it out.
It's like a pumpkin graveyard.
Looks like this one got away. It used to bug me whenever I saw a smashed pumpkin. It just seemed so senseless. But that day, I finally understood. Maybe because I hated Halloween.
Smash it. Do it. No one's looking.
Pete Wrigley! You have tasted the dark side!
And it tastes like chicken. Right, Mike?
Do me a favor. Clam it!
Maybe, just maybe there's hope for you yet, Wrigley.
Hey, does anybody else's pumpkin head smell like tangerines?
Oh, yeah. I licked mine once.
Don't go ruining your appetite, boys. Because tonight, we're gonna have us a little weenie roast.
Not on my watch, dirtbags!
Ambush!
What makes someone do this? I don't understand.
I know it sounds crazy, but I couldn't help feeling like I was to blame for what happened. As if the Halloween gods had cursed Pete for the pumpkin I destroyed. And it didn't help that the next day,
I'm sorry, Gumdrop, but I'd have to be an idiot to let you go trick-or-treating.
Nona's pop pulled the plug on her Halloween plans.
Love hurts.
Pete, Mom told me about Nona. What are you gonna do?
Nothing. Can't break the record alone. Takes 2 people to haul the candy, remember? One more shot. It's all I wanted.
Maybe it was loyalty. Maybe it was stupidity. But to this day, I still can't believe what I did next. Pete, I'll go with you. You and me. Together. Remember?
Don't yank my chain.
I'm not. I'll go.
You will?
You what? Pete, you can't go trick-or-treating.
It's no big deal.
I know what this is about. So you smashed a pumpkin. Is that worth ruining your life?
I think you're being a little dramatic.
Dramatic. I'll give you dramatic. I got 2 words for you.
Ellen, don't.
Ned Richmond. Remember last year?
How could I forget? Last Halloween, this 15-year-old phoebe named Ned Richmond went trick-or-treating. And the pumpkin eaters caught him. He got roasted for everyone to see. Ned's life has never been the same. Now nobody will go near him. Not even in the yearbook.
But I can run really fast.
Pete, please, don't do it. Once a Halloweenie, always a Halloweenie. You'll be scarred for life.
I gotta go get ready.
According to my brother, the record is one of mankind's greatest feats, like landing on the moon. And if we broke the record, we'd be legends, just like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, the first two men to walk on the moon. For me, I was just relieved that the visor covered my face. Pete was relieved too, because he could actually relieve himself in his spacesuit.
Science. Ready, Commander Armstrong?
Ready, Buzz.
So off we went into the unknown. Visions of Halloween glory surging through Pete's brain. Fear of being unmasked racing through my own. So it all came down to this one fateful Halloween. By midnight, all the questions would be answered. Would this be the last Halloween? Would Pete finally break the record? And would my Halloweeny secret remain a secret?
Commander, prepare for liftoff. Ready, set, go!
But as I soon discovered, I wouldn't have much time for worrying, because Pete devised a battle plan that rocketed us through suburbia.
Trick or treat. Trick or treat. You know the routine. Hustle.
By 8 o'clock, just 1 hour into our 374-house quest, we'd knocked off 115 houses, from Chug Hill all the way to Sahara Mike Avenue. We were unstoppable, and as my Halloween spirit returned, I could feel it. It was a night for heroes. And unfortunately, villains. Because Pete and I weren't the only ones trying to change the face of Halloween.
We got a whizzed out Blackbeard situation here. We got a 10-9er in a tree. Send backup pronto. Oh, the humanity. You cannot do this to me. I'm a civil servant. It's a war zone out there. Go home. I can't protect you. Freeze! Or your fertilizer!
With the Pumpkin Eater's reign of terror in full force, I convinced Pete that we had to take evasive action. I knew that if the Pumpkin Eaters caught me, hello Weenie Town. So armed with Pete's knowledge of every shortcut in Wellsville, we began serpentining suburbia. But somewhere around house 203, the Pumpkin Eaters tightened their stranglehold on Halloween. And suddenly, it looked like our night of glory would be squashed by fear. But the spirit of Halloween could not be crushed. Wellsville refused to surrender.
T-minus 131 houses and counting. How you doing, Buzz? Over.
A-okay, Commander. Over.
Energy supplement? Over. Let's move out!
As we closed in on the record, I guess I got a little overconfident. But with only 6 blocks to go, I figured, what could go wrong?
Hooray, men from space!
Ned Richmond.
Hey, you're Pete Wrigley.
No, I'm not. I'm, Neil Armstrong.
Oh, yeah, sure. Your secret's safe with me. Hey, maybe we could go together next year. Huh, Wriggles?
Wriggles. He called me Wriggles.
Shake it off, Commander. Come on.
Pete, this is crazy. If they find me, I'll end up like Ned. Hey, maybe we could find someone else for you to team up with.
What?
We're the only Halloweenies left. We gotta get out of here.
No! No! Come on! You promised. We're almost there. Come on, we can make it, Commander.
No, we can't. Not alone. Not out there. It's over.
That's what you think. I don't need you.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. I knew that I was being a spineless weasel. I knew that I was sucker punching Pete's dreams of glory. But I had to get home and lose the spacesuit. I just couldn't end up like Ned.
Going my way, Halloweeny!
Hey, Blowhole! Wherever you are, in 45 minutes, I'm gonna be famous. You know what you're gonna be? A blowhole!
Over here. He went this way. Get the weenie.
It was the last place a Halloween hater like me should have ended up. But it was the only place left to hide. Lame. I hate this holiday.
Yeah, well, it hates you too.
Leave me alone. You hear me? You're the reason I'm in this whole mess.
Suit yourself. It's nice knowing you, traitor.
At that moment, I didn't care what happened to Halloween. All I cared about was me.
Tag, you're dead.
Oh, Wrigley. Trick or treat.
biggest Halloweenie of them all.
The last house. The final frontier. I'm one house away, jerkweed. I told you I didn't need you.
What do you want from me?
Except your soul.
Come on, let's hang them upside down from the goalpost.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Then we'll tie him to the roof rack and drive around town.
No. I've got something special planned for this one.
What are you gonna do to me?
Well, that depends on what you do for me.
Bite my scalp! Why? Why now?
Yesterday, we saw you, Ridley. You smashed a pumpkin. Oh, it was beautiful. And now here you are in this pathetic excuse of a haunted house, hating Halloween even more.
Just like you.
Exactly. Ridley, we can destroy Halloween together, smash the pumpkin, and together we'll toast the death of Halloween!
And if I don't?
2 words. Ned Richmond. Do it. You know you want to. You felt it yesterday, and you feel it now.
I could feel it. At that moment, I had more power in my hands than I've ever had in my life. The power to crush the spirit of Halloween forever. But would I? Could I?
Do it. No one's looking.
Sorry to hear that. Endless Mike?
What'd you expect, Carrot Head? Mr. Tasty? Fry this weenie!
Like I said, dirtbags, not on my watch.
Where are you going? Coward! I'll destroy you too! Oh, I will!
Trick or treat, gut bucket!
You know, Flamehead, in space, no one can hear you scream.
Commander, our work here is done.
In the end, Pete was right. It was a night for heroes. The next day, with the Pumpkin Eaters unmasked and in custody, the cleanup began.
You missed a spot. Stooge.
It was the last time their kind ever haunted our town. As for Pete, he didn't break the record, but that was okay.
Maybe next year.
Because he achieved greatness in another way that night. So did I. We helped save Halloween in Wellsville. Now, every year, when the leaves come, so does Halloween. Setting free the ghouls and goblins of our souls for one magical night. Especially for 2 brothers who will always believe.
They're playing in Central Park. And